ease hostilities between the two countries. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni and his Rwandan counterpart, that is Paul Kagame, signed the MOU during a quadripartite summit in Angola. Among other things, the two countries have agreed on a plan to repatriation of prisoners, and Kigali and Kampala also agreed to discuss outstanding issues, including free movement of persons, goods and services across the common border in the next meeting in Kampala after 30 days. We're still on with our regional and international front, where Israelis are voting in their country's second general election in 5 months. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the snap election after failing, to form a governing coalition with a viable majority after April's vote. The final opinion polls put his right-wing Likud party neck and neck with its main challenger, the centrist Blue and White Party, led by former military chief Benny Gantz. Smaller parties could therefore have a big say in the final outcome, and negotiations on the formation of a new coalition are expected to start as soon as voting ends at around 10 p.m. of 1900 GMT and exit polls are published. Well, elsewhere is that the UK Supreme Court will today hear 2 appeals that will determine whether or not Prime Minister Boris Johnson acted lawfully in suspending Parliament for 5 weeks. The court will give the final ruling after Edinburgh's Court of Session said the shutdown was illegal and London's High Court said it was not a court matter. The suspension of Parliament, a process known as proroguing, began a week ago, and MPs are not scheduled to return until 14th October, with the UK due to leave the EU on the 31st of October. Now, opposition parties have meanwhile called for Parliament to be recalled. And those are some of the issues and stories that we have for you as of now, and we will keep updating you on more in as far as that particular issue on local, regional and global updates is concerned. But remember, the Daily Brief is all about you, and therefore we value what you tell us online and using our SMS platform, that is 21222. And our conclusion of the second hour was, get to various hashtags, key among them Peter Tabichi online and what Kenyans have had to say about his meeting with US President, that is Donald Trump, as well as the address he will be giving during the 74th United Nations General Assembly. Would like also right now to come here and just get more in as far as your feedback is concerned. I'll still go back to Twitter and still on Peter Tabichi. This why Kietas, I believe we took this during the first hour. This guy, teacher brother Peter Tabichi, is the guy that has inspired me most in 2019. Be passionate about what you're doing. Go to that extra mile to do it. Stay humble and true to whom you are, and watch. And let's just get to the next one. Now, this is all about hashtag Mukami's appeal to Uhuru. Now, the Mukami in reference here is Dedan Kimathi's widow, that is Mukami Kimathi, who has come out in the public to just reach out to the president. And one of the issues that she's talking about all too passionately to the president is that government helps her and her family get the remains of the late Dedan Kimathi and bury them where they intend to bury them, and that is within the family cemetery. And a lot has been said about this issue. Each and every time we are commemorating national holidays, key among them Mashujaa and Jamhuri, and just let's get a feel of what this hashtag has been all about this far. And at Raf, I believe I got that right, that the government should take some action. Imagine that hero died beneath a tree not relaxing in his house, hashtag Mukami's appeal to court. Well, just a counter in terms of facts, actually, Dedan Kimathi did die in prison, at least as per history records, and it is not known to date where his remains were buried. Let's move on to the next tweet. This is Robert_K_Tor, and he says, must it be noisy or taken to the streets for government to listen? Respect our freedom fighters. Honor Kimathi's duty in freeing the nation. That is yet another one. So this is yet another hashtag that has been discussed quite a lot for the last 24 hours. Hashtag Mukami's appeal to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So we will keep updating you in as far as any developments in that particular regard is concerned. Remember, Mashujaa Day heads to Mombasa in just a matter of weeks. So we shall see the level of attention and response that this hashtag is given by the relevant bodies. Now, let's keep updating you on what else is happening in the country, bring in our reporters from across the 47 regions on what exactly is happening there. And right now, we'd like to go to Kitui County and bring in our reporter Daniel Kariuki, who's joining us live from Kitui with a breakdown on what has been happening this morning. Remember, Senate Mashinani is in Kitui beginning yesterday. It will be there all the way to the 20th of this month. We've seen the National Planning and Finance Committee of the Senate have a meeting this morning. So let's now bring in Daniel Kariuki with a breakdown on what has happened in Kitui so far. Kariuki.
Right, thank you, Sam. And some few minutes ago, the Senate Finance Committee was having a sitting, and they were meeting with the CEC, Kitui County, concerning matters with the Kitui budget, the Kitui County budget that was passed some few weeks ago. Now the concern was the Division of Revenue Bill has not yet been passed, has not yet been sent into law. How were they debating, or rather how did they manage to pass the budget without the approval, or rather without the Division of Revenue Bill having been approved? So that matter came up concerning also the textile industry, the county government textile industry that is here in Kitui. Remember, yesterday the senators and the Speaker of the Senate had a tour at the textile farm here, or rather textile factory here in Kitui with the governor. But the senator, Kitui County Senator Wambua, did not attend. Of course, local politics playing out, and that is part also of what was also discussed in that finance committee. Remember, the Senator Wambua says that the factory was the process of coming up with the factory that was that is expected to be launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta did not follow the due process, and that's the reason he did not attend there. And also said that actually the senator was rallying the other senators not to go, not to have a tour to that factory. But well, the senator says they cannot miss to go and see what the county government has done with that. And the county government is planning to actually gazette that factory. Of course, it's all about local politics. It's something else that the county assembly and the members of the county assembly have not approved. And that is one of the things that they have been using as a tool of politics here in Kitui County. Away from that, the Senate Speaker, Ken Lusaka, is currently in Meru attending the burial of father to Senator Meru Senator Linturi. The Speaker left a few minutes ago, and will be coming back later on to attend the sittings in the afternoon. And the Education Committee is currently at St. Joseph, the school for the deaf, and they are actually listening to some of the presentations by the students, or rather the pupils there at St. Joseph. And also the Committee on ICT is meeting with the residents of Tharaka Nithi on the upgrading of the internet connectivity in that county to 2G network. Those are some of the things that are currently happening here in Kitui County, and of course I'm going to be speaking to some of the senators, of course, concerning the division of revenue allocation that has actually caused an uproar from the Senate, with the senators claiming that the National Assembly members of the National Assembly have sneaked in an amendment that changes the entire bit to the commencement of the Division of Revenue Bill, backdating it to 1st of July instead of the agreed during the mediation process. That's the commencement to take place after the publication of the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill, and it is yet to be assent into law by the President, since the bill has not yet been taken to him, as some of the senators have not signed into that mediated bill. Now I'm joined by the Senator Makueni Mtula Kilonzo. Maybe you can just, thank you for joining us, joining K24 TV. We are live, and maybe you can tell us, so far you were having a meeting on the Finance Committee meeting. Yes. Maybe some of the issues that you have deliberated.
Part of the, we wanted to meet the counterpart committees in Makueni, Kitui, partly Machakos, just to hear their issues. And I'm very happy that we got to listen to the Kitui Assembly Finance Committee, because they have raised very serious concerns about budget making processes, the textile factory, for example, and we have been in a position to advise them on what to do, on the law and things that they were not aware of, but more importantly to just give them assurance that in the event that they have any problem with their finance matters, finance and budgets, they can always call on us to help them, because we don't want counties getting stuck on budget issues, and there's no reason. It has just occurred to the committee, in fact, that one of the regulations that we amended in 2015 has never been effected in Kitui since 2015, and they were not aware that we passed it. So we are trying to help them so that we can unlock some of small little quagmires that are existing in some of these counties for no reason other than the fact that people don't just want to sit down. But it also occurs to us that every time new members are elected into assemblies, there's reason to have regular meetings, because there's an assumption that the previous committee transferred the information to the new committee. But this new committee is asking questions that we were asked in 2013. And therefore, I think this interaction has been very useful. But we have also been able to tell the committee that we want to make sure that by the end of today, we pass the county revenue allocation bill today. We are going to sit until midnight, if possible. But by end of today, we will ensure that the county revenue allocation goes to the National Assembly by tomorrow morning, and hopefully we can persuade the head of state to sign it into law before the end of the week, so that counties can receive money.
But there have been issues and some concern that concerns have been raised by some of the senators, a section of senators, saying that there is an amendment that was sneaked in to the Division of Revenue, the mediated version of the Division of Revenue Bill by the National Assembly. Are these claims true, or what exactly are they? Just baseless?
Let me just explain what it is. The National Assembly Committee, our counterparts, were of the view that the Division of Revenue ought to have a retrospective date of 1st of July, so that it's effective 1st of July. That issue was not part and parcel of the issues we were debating as a mediation committee. The mediation committee is restricted to the issues we disagreed with at plenary, and it's on the figures and medical leasing equipment. So that issue was brought about casually. It was not an issue that we could debate, and therefore it would appear that we can only fool ourselves if you attempt to change the date. Because, for example, the Supreme Court yesterday asked for the report on the mediation committee. How can we, all of us, pretend to this nation that the Division of Revenue Bill was passed on 1st of July, there were no disputes, there was no mediation? is some of it is plain illogical. Not just illegal. It's plain illogical to tell the country today, and I'm saying this with a straight face, that that the division of revenue bill is effective 1st of July, and the president is supposed to sign it today. Plain illogical. Yes, I don't want to use strong words. Illogical, and therefore members of the Senate are right. We passed, and we had 3 senators who voted against it. We have 27 senators who voted the mediated version of a division of revenue without a date. The Speaker of the National Assembly is supposed to forward to the President the mediated version. If Muturi Speaker forwarded a bill with a date, then it's not the mediated version. Yeah, that's my position.
Well, maybe I can ask if the bill is passed and of course sent to law with the 1st of July as the date of commencement, maybe what are some of the repercussions? I personally don't know what was the reason, but I see mischief in trying to correct the appropriation law. That at the time the appropriation law was signed, there was division of revenue. That's the point. Yeah. But this matter is in the public domain, that the appropriation law was passed before division. So the date in division of revenue cannot correct the problem in the appropriation. As far as I'm concerned, in fact, it's a non-issue. I didn't think from a legal perspective we need to spend and waste time so much about it. I want that mischief presented to the Supreme Court and the High Court so that we can demonstrate the sort of problems we have been having about this question of, even after we have agreed on 316, I'm surprised that we are fighting over things that are not part and parcel of mediation. So what next?
Division of Revenue Bill is being signed into law. So those legal issues, we will leave them for determination. That doesn't bother me. This afternoon, we are passing CARA so that counties can get funding. We are getting to the meat of the matter, which is counties don't have funds. National government has funds. Those are the issues.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Senator
Mutula Kilonzo Jr., of course, there, Senator Makueni County, giving us a highlight about the division of revenue bill. And so far, it seems the back and forth between the National Assembly and the Senate is yet to end. And we are going to be following keenly to know exactly what is going to be taking place here in Kitui County. Well, I take you back to Sam in studio, but Sam, we are going to continue updating our viewer in our subsequent bulletins and throughout the day as things continue to unveil here in Kitui County. Back to you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Daniel Karaoke, for that. But don't be surprised if we come back to you before the daily brief ends for one more update from Kitui County and a lot of issues coming forth from that area. Now, I'd like to take you to Kisumu County, and this is Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, the governor Kisumu, giving a press address. So let's listen into what he's saying.
We expect to construct a further 1,000 units under phase 2 of the project. So those who are going around funerals talking about relocating small traders, we are ahead of them. We are already doing it. Isi Onyango approves. However,
we heavily apologize for the quality of sound on this particular story. Indeed, it is one that we shall keep interacting with in the course of the show, and if not, then during our subsequent bulletins, and we will let you know of exactly what Anyang' Nyong'o has said today. Baraka Karama did tell us that among the issues he will be talking about is the passing and signing of the county budget, 10.2 billion Kenya shillings. So we'll keep definitely interacting with this story and give you more in that regard. Forgive my manners, we didn't acknowledge our sign language interpreter during the previous hour. That was Clement Muli, and right now we've got Josephine Kimathi who's doing sign language interpretation for us. Let's take a break right now. When we return, expect much more from this show when we are back.